welcome back to the garden. So here is our update for how things are growing. We've had a fair bit of rain in the past week, so things have shot up. We actually have some nice tomato growth happening. All the flowers are nicely blooming on each plant. Cucumbers are exploding. Wait till you see what the outside looks like. But I have had some cucumber beetle pressure. Don't see any right now. Kind of picked some off before the video, but if anybody has any tips on how to get rid of the little buggers, that'd be great. Peas are blooming and producing. So then we have our dragon tongue beans just starting to flower. Our cabbage that's lost back in here probably isn't doing so great. It's kind of hidden. Yeah, I think he's lost. Our zucchini are going crazy. So I've trimmed these back, like defoliated, took some of the leaves off a couple of times now, and they just keep exploding. So we do have some zucchinis. There's one good sized one back in here. We have all kinds of flowers starting on all these guys still. Brussels sprouts coming along, getting eaten by some cabbage worm by the looks of it or something. I've got some carrots popping up, about 1.5 inches tall or so. Nah, that's like 3 inches tall. So our super fantastic tomatoes aren't really that big because they've been blocked out by this gold rush zucchini. But our super fantastic, I believe is what these ones are. Yeah, these ones are your super fantastic. They've been doing pretty good. Starting to get some flowers on it. There's a small tomato there actually. Our eggplant looks like it's starting to flower there. Some tomatillos in the back, also flowering. Our beans, these are our borlotti beans, and I believe I saw, yep, they are producing. And then our strike beans are flowering and starting to produce as well. Now I do have a Tabasco plant buried down in here. I'm probably gonna have to transplant that because it got a little taken out. Speaking of cucumber beetles, I bet you if I tweak yeah, there he is. Where is he? There he is. If anybody knows how to keep those away from your garden, please let me know. They're all over my stuff. So then we got our pepper plants are back in here. A couple of peppers started on it. Our Swiss chard spinach. More peppers with some flowers and buds starting. Our lettuce I cut back pretty good a couple of days ago just so it could regrow back in. Our pine berry isn't really doing a whole lot. There isn't really any runners or anything going out from it, but first year I'm pretty sure I read with strawberries and pine berries that they don't really do anything the first year anyway. What else? So we got more pepper plants back in here. I got a volunteer potato plant somehow. Some basil growing up nicely in the corner here. My lettuce. This is a head lettuce of some sort, I believe it was supposed to be. Our honeydew plant, and our honeydew plant. Look at this thing. Let me go around the outside. Actually, I'll give you a little view this way. I'll give you a view like this, so you can see how things are. Alright, let's take a step outside the garden. Okay, look at this honeydew plant. Just taking off, climbing along this cage. Our couple of sunflowers here we have planted on either side. In these urns, I put lemongrass. So we tried some lemongrass in here earlier in the season and nothing came of it. So what I did was I did some more lemongrass in the center, and then I did lavender seeds around the outside, and I've watered it and put the blanket over it just to help retain the moisture until the seeds germinate, which I checked before the video and they're starting to germinate. They just don't show up real great on the camera. So I got that in both of these. But now check out our cucumbers. Our cucumbers are just trailing out. That whole screen right there, that's the cucumbers from left to right. We have also had some visitors starting to make a nest in the bee hotel. So then here is our melon patch, I guess we'll call it. So again, with the cucumber beetles, this is what they've been doing to my watermelons. They climb inside these buds. They climb inside, let's see. They climb inside these buds and they just destroy it. That'll never produce fruit. So we will pluck that off and get rid of it. However, I do have this little beauty starting right here. That is one of our sweet watermelons starting. I'm super excited. But this thing I've had to tame back, so I've wrapped it around the bottom, but this thing is huge. I had to reinforce my TP with some rope. Just because when the wind picks up in a storm, it really gives it a good push. This is our Quartzel watermelon. There's only one, no, there's two plants there. These are the winter squash, I believe. Our cantaloupe, doing good from seed. Again, these were cantaloupes that or cantaloupe seeds that we had harvested from just one that we bought at the store. Look at these, they're doing great. And our bird bath, I had planted some bird and bee mix around. We wanted to put full plants there, but for some reason there is a cement pad underneath here that goes from here all the way in. So we opted with some seeds. And look at all these. Should be pretty. And they're supposed to grow up fairly tall. So what our view from the house will be like this, with flowers all along the back, which would be great. Alright, so now to our deck. So as you can see, everything here as well is doing amazing. Our Tiny Tim tomatoes are starting to turn color. Our basil is still not doing so great. Our tomatoes here in the shade started to catch up. Not producing any flowers yet, so we'll probably have to move them shortly to get a little extra sun. Oh, our calendula is around the corner here, which is starting to flower now. Our hydrangeas are in bloom. Alright, let's go on the deck and show you the fruits and berries. Jen's marjoram, growing out of control with a mint. Our goldenberry plant, it's growing ridiculous, starting to develop nodes, and tons of undergrowth down here. But again, cucumber beetles have destroyed a bunch of this, eating holes, munching it. Look at this. Just destroyed that leaf. But moving on, we have our pepper plant on the deck here, starting to flower and produce fruit. This is our wolfberry. It's doing great as well, considering it when we got it was as tall as this thing, holding it up. But yeah, that's about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 feet tall. Our potato plants, again, these are about 2 feet tall. Little tomato plant here, beefsteak tomato plant. Lingonberry plant, getting shaded a bit actually. Our other potato plant. Alright, so these are apple trees. We had went to a local Mennonite farm and purchased a large basket of apples, and I'm assuming they are, well, they'd have to be left over from the last season, so which means the seeds inside the apple would have cold stratified throughout the winter, which in turn allows the seed to continue to germinate properly, and it allowed us to have some seeds. So if you want to grow an apple tree, check with your Mennonites in the spring. Alright, another pine berry. Still not really doing much. Like I said, the pine berries and strawberries don't do anything the first year. Some catgrass needs to be replanted. This tomato plant has seen better days. If anybody's got an idea of what I've done to it, please let me know. I am by no means an expert gardener. This is all a lot of trial and error stuff on my end. This is our first garden. So we've got a wild elderberry plant. I'm gonna move this potato plant. You are huge. There we go. So our wild elderberry. This is our high bush cranberry. It's shot up real nice. And we've got our rose cherry tree. It's probably grown, I don't know, a good 6 to 8 inches since we've last shown you. And then here we have our ranch elderberry, which this one's put off a couple side shoots as well. And also when, was it this one? No. Oh, it was on the wild elderberry, when we got it, the clone, it had a branch break off. And that branch, I was like, I'm gonna try and save it. And I just stuck it in the dirt. I didn't put any rooting hormones or anything. And look at it. So now I have 2 nice elderberry bushes starting to grow. Amazing, right? And then last but not least is our gooseberry, which if you've never had gooseberries, which it's been a long time since I've had them, but they actually have little thistles. Sorry for the cameraing. Jen's busy creating more content for our blog, so I am giving the tour by myself, which is okay, because I'm gonna go back into our backyard and I will show you our potatoes. All right, this is our potato and sweet potato area, main area, I guess. Just because they're in tubs and we kind of hid them in our backyard. But sweet potatoes in this bucket, I gotta create a trellis for them because some of these are actually pretty long. Oh, that's probably a good 4 or 5 foot long. These are our blue Russian potatoes. Again, our potatoes are all about 1.5 to 2 foot tall plants. These ones kind of got trampled. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if it was from the storm, just kind of trashed them around a little bit, but hopefully they'll perk back up. And then our other sweet potatoes, which again, I need a trellis because some of these are getting pretty long. I almost forgot to show you guys. You gotta check out our first full-size cucumber. Look at that. Look at it. It's gonna be a good one. Jen's gonna pick it here shortly. Alright everyone, I want to thank you for stopping into the garden and having a look and see what's going on. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to comment if there's anything that you want to see or any tips you want to give us on gardening or something that you see we should maybe do. Just drop it in the comments below. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a great day.